Tell me, though, what's his technique? That last strike, it seems invincible.
Hello and welcome to Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. My name is Connor McKenna.
And I'm Ray.
Yes, so we're in Bizarro World right now because Ray and I are the team behind Last Sons of Krypton, but we're not recording that. And we're the only two here. We're actually on Iron Fist, which is awesome as well. And because this has nothing to do with Superman, Ray is joining us here tonight because... Yes. He runs Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast, and he's a high priest over there.
I am. I do have the high priest garb on tonight, Connor. I've done away with the Zod uniform.
Yeah, how's that double life going for you anyway?
Yeah, it's going well. You know, a few hiccups here and there. Like Zod's all in black, isn't he? Moon Knight's all in white. So
yeah,
it's it's quite distinct, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Before we go on, a huge thanks for having us on the show as well. Like a big fan of Sons of the Dragon, the Iron Fist podcast. So, it's always fun to be here.
Yeah, no worries. I think this is your first time on.
No.
Oh my god.
It isn't, Connor. Oh my gosh.
Well, on the Iron Fist podcast.
Yeah. I jumped on for our Damnation crossover. I was the Iron Fist, one of the Iron Fist tie-ins.
Oh, you did. That's right. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, because as I said, my brain's a muddle because Ray and I are like interwoven.
That's it.
By the threads of podcasting fate, so it's hard to remember.
No. Of course, it's understandable. We do kind of dip our toe into a lot of shows. May I, at this opportunity as well, Connor, just give a little plug to our friend Dave Finn, from the Signal of Doom, Connor, which you are co-hosting now on a...
yes, I am.
Yeah, I mean, again, something that we kind of overlapped in. And anyway, I thought I'd just give Dave a little bit of a shout out. He asked me to give him a little plug. So listeners, Signal of Doom, check it out. Connor's on there as well. His dulcet tones can woo you, whilst Dave Finn's aggressive nature can shock you back into a reality.
Yeah, although we do kind of differ from week to week. Sometimes he'll be the passive one and I'll be the aggressive one. So
okay, yeah.
Like that time I just got wasted before I went on there. And
That's right. You apologise for drinking a few times there.
Yeah, I was...
But no slurred speech, so that was good.
Well, it was after that episode that he invited me on as like a regular.
Oh.
So maybe...
Must have impressed him.
You know. And I believe you'll be hopping on. You always hop on as well.
Every now and again. So when the opportunity arises.
I think the talk of the town I was having with Dave is because I was talking to Dave. I'm like, hey, you can have two people on at once, right?
Oh yeah.
He's like, and he's like, let's try, get you and Ray on here, and I'm like, oh yeah, the Last Sons, which we are not currently.
No. Could
storm the Signal. But yeah, check out Signal. I'm a regular there now. We covered Black Hole last episode, which is a very interesting, good comic if you just want to hear me talking more and my outrageous opinions on everything and talking about stuff that isn't Superman or Iron Fist, even though I do talk about those two things like every episode still, but
Excellent.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
not covering books that are just them. Which is a nice change of pace for me too,
Yeah, I mean, you do read quite a diverse range of books. Kind of like that Black Hole sounds quite interesting. I'm going to wait until I hear your review before deciding to pick it up or not. But it does sound interesting.
Well, I'll just say, I guess I won't give you spoilers, but there was, just hold on to your money.
Okay.
As in, like, make sure you have enough there. But
okay.
Yeah, So, but yeah, go check that out. So, me, 3 podcasts now, crazy times, but I don't have to edit that one, so it's like easy to do.
That's always a relief, isn't it? Like when it's
man.
like, oh, cool, I get to just, chat away and, all done at the end of the
Like
day.
none of the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I feel really bad for Dave because I kept cutting out on our recording.
Oh, okay.
So I sent him 6 audio files to patch together in his editing.
He was telling me it was a tricky one tonight. He's editing tonight, yeah. So
Yeah. So, but yeah, check that out. I've also talked about every issue of Contagion. No, I've talked about issue 1, 4, and 5 on there because I've been on for those ones. So if you've listened to Signal, you probably already know my thoughts on 4 and 5. But we haven't gone as nitty gritty on there as we are going to here. So Ray's on because we did our Damnation crossover a while ago, which was more fun for the fact that we were all crossing over and less because it was good.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Because it wasn't really good. Like some of the tie-ins.
The tie-ins were good, yeah. But the main thing was a little bit of. Well, I'm speaking from a Moon Knight perspective. A little bit of garbage. I
think everyone who isn't like a Doctor Strange or Ghost Rider fan would have been disappointed by the main book. Yeah. Because for God's sake, Iron Fist is getting beaten up by like possessed Hawkeye.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man, Hawkeye. Yeah. Really? I know he's an Avenger, but
I know he's got no chi, has he? Yeah, exactly.
There's no Iron Fist. But Moon Knight features quite heavily in these issues. We're going to do like a big crossover, but we figured it was really Iron Fist heavy at the start. Yes. And anyway, but we just thought, hey, let's have Ray on for issue 4, and as it turns out, issue 5, because it's doing both in one, and Moon Knight does feature in both of these issues.
Yeah, which is a pleasant surprise. I mean, before we get into it, before I had a lot of the loonies had just assumed that issue 4 was our ticket to see a bit of Moon Knight, but pleasantly surprised that issue 5 had a whole lot of him. Yeah,
I've said about this series before. I like how all these characters that don't usually get to shine in events are shining in events. And the thing is there too, which is always awesome. Yeah. So, yeah. But so Iron Fist news, first off, there's none. There's some clickbait, but I'm not reporting that as news because it's not. When there's something like actually concrete, I'll report on it. But for now, there's nothing you guys need to know. And there's just rumors he's appearing in Shang-Chi and stuff, but that's exactly what they are, rumors. Right. And we all knew those rumors were going to happen anyway.
Yes.
And we got this covered as trying to report that they're casting and it's just, don't trust we got this covered.
Oh,
and Cosmic Book News, they're another one.
Yeah. No, not at all. So no news on the comics front for Iron Fist?
No. Which, Iron Fist has really hit some home runs lately.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of comics, we've had Brisson's run, and then we had the Phantom Limb with Mr. Chapman. Power Man and Iron Fist wasn't good, but, before that was Living Weapon, then before that was Immortal Iron Fist. This is a really strong set, I think.
Yeah. And the beginning of Contagion is what I'd say. I mean, the whole premise was quite exciting, wasn't it? I mean, with the whole what is it, Hieroglyphy?
Hieroglyphy is how I pronounce it.
Yeah,
which no one's actually pronounced before because it's not a word I think that exists outside of this book. Yeah. So I got really excited because you had the reveal of Iron Fist coming in at the end, and like this is like a Kunlun bad guy. But does it deliver on that? We will find out, I guess. So do you want to hop into Contagion 4?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go let's not fly.
I was about to go up and away. No.
Yeah. All right, so Contagion 4, let's have a look at the cover. So this is why I was kind of skeptical that Moon Knight would have a big role to play because, well...
the cover, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. But then as we, maybe we'll find out that it is different. So this is, I'm just going to go flip over to the credits here. So we have Contagion 4, writer Ed Brisson, artist Damien, you do it.
Hang on, let me, sorry, here we go. Damien Cachero, I think.
I mean, if you don't get it right, you're not fully white like I am, so you can get it But,
Exactly. I've got a free pass. Get out of jail.
Yeah.
Colorist Veronica Gandini and letterer VC's Corey Pettit with cover artist Juan Jose Rip. Fantastic. With Jesus Abertov. And a variant cover artist Ryan Brown. Do you pick up any of the variant covers?
I got the variant for number 2.
Okay, because they all connect, apparently.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, if you get the variants for 1 to 5, they all make one big, what do you call it, mural?
Shit. Man, I wish I knew that. Because I would have been picking up the variants. Because, like, the variant for 2 was called, had Iron Fist and Power Man fighting the Fantastic Four.
Right, yes.
But, yeah. So, we open up. We're in a hospital. There's, fungus everywhere. Mm-hmm. And we have the Wrecking Crew fighting Patient Zero, the urchin.
Yeah. Are they in the hospital? I thought they're train station, Pennsylvania.
Train station, sorry.
Yeah,
this is why I need, like, a co-host on. Because, it's... Disclaimer, it's been 2 weeks since I've read this issue.
That's fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we have Moon Knight, White Tiger, The Thing, Jessica Jones, Senor Magico, Black Tarantula, The Punisher, Sparrow, Pei, Elektra, and they're all coming in. I think Iron Fist is in there somewhere. Oh wait, no, he's not. Never mind, he's somewhere else.
Yeah. So a really cool, as you mentioned earlier, array of second tier kind of street level characters, which is what Brisson wanted. As you mentioned in the previous issues, he cleverly kept the Avengers out of it for a while at least. By saying that they don't want to absorb any of those mighty powers of theirs. But
yeah, which is it's funny that I guess I have thoughts on that, but it'll be after the story, I suppose. But yeah, they're fighting. Fight. La la la. Elektra jumps on. Oh yeah, there's a barrier around them that Senor Magico is putting up, and Elektra goes up to stab the urchin, which she does, but then she gets infected. Like, it goes all into her and stuff, and it looks like the barrier is down. Now, I got to say, I'm not hot on the artwork here.
No, I'm not really as well. It's unfortunate. Is this the same artist as the first couple of issues? Because I really liked the first few issues.
So I believe issue 3 had an additional artist helping.
Okay.
And I've just gone back to issue 3, and the art's like already better.
Yeah.
Let's go down.
That's one of the main things, and I've got to say with issue 5 as well, 4 and 5 to me, the art wasn't the best. It wasn't.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So the artists. Okay, Steven Segovia and Mac Chater in issue 3.
Right.
And they're completely different, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And
right.
Issue 2, which I think has had the strongest art in the run, is
Segovia?
just Steven Segovia.
Yeah. Segovia's he's the draw card, I think. And it's very obvious that he's not in issue 4, and later we'll see issue 5.
The fungi isn't like gross really anymore. Everyone looks kind of basic and potato. I guess
it's serviceable, but I don't know. Would you agree, Connor? And I don't want to cast vast ripples here, but this is kind of like, and no offense, Mr. Cachero, like phone in kind of art. It's, to me, it's very flat. And
I mean,
a lot of problems with a lot of Marvel books today, where it seems that they rush it, or they just like throw it to someone to do, and although they're adequate, these artists, they're not. It's not to the level that you expect. I mean, we've got a damn like Juan Jose Rip cover, for God's sake, and he's he's one of my favorite artists. And then you open it, and then you get this. Oh, here we go. Here's another like Marvel stable artist that he's just starting out or something. Do they give it to juniors, Connor? Do they give it to juniors?
I don't think... I mean, I feel like juniors be more experimental unless they were told just to do house style, you know. But, like, I mean, I think we got to remember that, like... Which is still surprised me. This is a weekly book.
Yeah, true.
I think this could have definitely benefited from being, like, at least bi-weekly. To give the artists more time and stuff, because like and it's also, there's a lot of characters to draw.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and plus you got the spores and everything. Like it demands detail, you know what I mean? And we're just not getting it.
Yeah, like yeah. So it's disappointing.
Yes.
So I was just distracted by something on the because I was scrolling up and down. Senior Majiko has passed out, obviously, because Jessica's swarming spores.
Yes.
Now, Black Tarantula and White Tiger have gotten mooked as well, because,
Yeah, I mean, can I say, like, these, I don't know, another little disappointing thing for this is how silly some of these heroes seem to just get themselves into trouble. Like Elektra, for instance. I mean...
She was supposed to have a force field around her, though.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, Punisher gets mooked in a really funny way.
I know,
Spoiler.
yeah.
That cracked me up. But, these guys here, the force field going wasn't part of the plan. Yeah. And these guys don't have superpowers. Yeah, true. They sort of do, especially White Tiger, but
not enough to... Yeah, we're not talking Omega
they're
level.
Not... Yeah. Like, the initial heroes that responded in this, right? So you have, the Thing...
Yeah.
Like, the staple guys are, like, the Thing, Iron Fist, and Sparrow. Yeah. And they... Yeah, okay, Sparrow had, the knowledge, and the Thing can't be infected. Iron Fist has his chi and stuff, so he's above these guys.
Yeah.
These guys are essentially just people who are good at fighting.
Yep.
So it's like trying to use martial arts on,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like 1,000-year-old friggin' spore. That destroys cities and stuff. Yeah, fair enough.
And which is such a really interesting backstory this spore might possibly have.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get some flashbacks or something of what happened and stuff and the creation.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe for another time.
But Pei's about to get mooked, but Jessica grabs her. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, are you up to date? Did you read Deceased?
No, I've read one issue. And I didn't know what was going. Well, I kind of knew what was going on, but I was right in the middle of the fray. So
you didn't miss anything. There was some serious mooking going on last issue, that's for sure.
Right.
Oh god. Anyway,
and do you hold to it? Your previous comments about it trying to take itself too seriously compared to this one, Contagion?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Superman wasn't the only one who got kind of the short stick, although he did get it one of the worst through just the way he sort of did things. But it was pretty stupid. And they also completely ripped off the ending from another comic book as well. So
it's never good.
Good stuff, Taylor. Anyway, Moon Knight and Punisher are going to create a diversion for the spore thing somehow. I don't know.
I mean, so immediately I'm quite excited that Moon Knight apparently seems to have a bit more of a role here. So I loved how he was kind of teaming up with the Punisher here, and he's actually doing something. At this stage, I was kind of fretting. He's going to be mincemeat. He's going to be bait for sure. But, but anyway, we'll get to it.
I was kind of expecting Moon Knight to get mooked.
Yep.
Very early on because But, so we come to, the coven of... I can't remember what they call them, but, all the international magic practitioners.
Yep.
And there's the guy from Canada.
Yeah. And they're all kind of casting a spell to, keep things in check, I think. And it's taking, a lot of focus for them to do so, but it's exhausting as well.
Yeah. They're keeping it from spreading like crazy.
Yes.
And there's that guy who looks like the Prince of Orphans, but isn't the Prince of Orphans.
Isn't that a woman?
Yes, but it's a green shawl.
Yeah, true. Fair enough. Yeah.
So they, talking to them, it's just really hard. They have to, people are starting to collapse and stuff. But they go to the Sanctum Sanctorum. This is day 3, and yay! Iron Fist is trying to heal them with his chi, which is something writers forget too much.
So I was very happy to see this as well. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I mean, because this is obvious. He would be trying to do this for sure.
Although it's kind of funny that it's day 3, but as we said with the Orson Randall Damnation tie-in, better late than never when it comes to
Yeah.
Because it took Danny a while to use his chi to heal in that as well. Because I'm like, just heal Orson between each fight. But he's like Mr. Miyagi. He rubs his hands together.
Yeah, it's very taxing for him though, isn't it? Like it's take a whole lot of chi from him, won't it? Or
Yeah, I think it depends how severe it is. Because do you remember in Brubaker's Daredevil? Wasn't he like healing Dakota or something with his chi? And he was
God, that's a while ago.
Casually. Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Or he was. Yeah, I don't know, but
Yeah, I guess it depends on the writer as well.
I'd love to see a writer explore the Book of Iron Fist and some new Iron Fist powers.
Oh,
I remember when he calmed down a crowd with his chi at one point.
I know, how cool is that?
Yeah,
I
like
remember
Obi-Wan.
reading about that.
Yeah, so there's such. Be good if we got a book to.
Doesn't he also use it as a projectile, like the chi? Doesn't he smash that train in Immortal Iron Fist?
Yeah, he does. He does. That's right.
Yeah.
And in Ultimate Alliance 3, his ultimate is he's just punching energy beams at people. So, yeah. But Senior Magico, I love how he hates Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
It's like that hack Doctor Strange.
Now, do you think, like I was thinking, do you think Senior Magico, you know what he says about, Strange as a hack, do you think that Senior Magico really does know a lot more than the Sorcerer Supreme? Or do you think that this is more of a jealousy thing or more of a grudge thing? Because it was established in Power Man and Iron Fist, right? So
yeah, I'd have to. God, it's been a while since I've read that, but like, I don't know if he knows more than Doctor Strange or not. But like, he's not like he is a joke character kind of, but he's obviously really powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he's like, like Doctor Strange got infected and he hasn't, so
he knows what he's doing, but albeit he needs a lot of help from the others, but at least he knows what he's doing. So yeah.
That being said, I would rather Iron Fist be associated with Doctor Strange than Senior Magico.
Yeah,
because I still want my Iron Fist and Doctor Strange team up book.
Or
maybe Midnight Suns, but have Iron Fist in the team, please. Because, God, let's say Doctor Strange, Iron Fist, Moon Knight, Elsa Bloodstone.
He frustratingly left out at the end of Damnation, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was. I was like, come on. Why was he even in this? But I love a Midnight Suns book with like Iron Fist, Elsa, Doctor Strange, Moon Knight.
Elsa Bloodstone, for sure. I love that, like, she's got that monster. She's the monster element to the thing. To, the whole pack. Yeah. Bring it on.
And, Ghost Rider's not really in a position for it right now, but...
No.
Yeah. So, Senior Magico says it's taken their minds, which is why they heard the urchin talking, like, with their voices, and they have 4 days until it's done with them. So the clock is ticking. Dun, dun, dun. So it's also taken their powers, too.
So we've got a clock now, which has been established, got a time limit.
A doomsday clock.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. The Thing's calling. He's from Yancey Street. He's calling Avengers. He's like, hello, anyone there? Uh-oh. And this it's like Tony infected them.
Stark's fault. He had a little bit of splotch on his armor.
I still don't get how that works, but... I don't know.
I don't know. I
thought it was growing from inside his armor, but it could just be a splotch that was on his armor.
Well, it'd have to be from inside, because then wouldn't the Thing have been infected long ago? Like, I mean, if the armor, Tony's protected.
The Thing's like made of rock, though.
Only the outside, his skin. So everything else.
Oh, so he has like normal organs.
I'm not sure about organs, but it was shown in Slot's Fantastic Four run, which apparently references an older run of the Thing. When he fights the Hulk, he gets pummeled, and you see actually he starts getting huge welts, like protruding out of his rock skin. So there's a thick layer there, but he's actually he's still got a tongue, and he's got a mouth and eyes. So there are various ways that this spore could secrete itself into him, but we'll let that slide.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd have to look back. Maybe Iron Man did something a bit different when he was like experimenting or something, where he was just overly confident. Like the Thing, the Thing's just being because I'm pretty sure Tony didn't have his mask up all the time, did he?
I can't remember. He did. Yeah. Anyway,
I think it's more likely for Tony to get infected than the Thing, but that's just me.
Yeah,
and like also Danny hasn't been infected yet either. And he's literally been like around the bodies and stuff. That being said, maybe
Maybe his
He
chi.
can't.
Yeah.
Although his chi's not working to heal it. Maybe they'll elaborate on this.
Yeah. Okay. We shall wait
Yeah,
and
there's
see.
some interesting things we can explore. But yeah, Mooked Avengers, which, not going to lie, makes me a bit happy on the inside.
Well, it's good. It kind of cleans them out of the picture. And
I'm just sick of them always, because you remember back on LSK, we were talking about like how Batman and Superman, they aren't actually always the center of everything. A lot of the time, Green Lantern or like a bunch of magic users have to save the world.
Yeah.
I feel like in Marvel, it's always the Avengers or the X-Men.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, they've been set up to be that way, though. You know, so it is good to see Brisson, you know, addressing the fact, because why wouldn't you call the Avengers or the Fantastic Four or the X-Men? It actually is touched upon interestingly enough in 2006 Charlie Houston Moon Knight run, and Moon Knight kind of what do you call it? He just kind of reflects while he's fighting crime on the streets. You know, why aren't Spider-Man or why aren't Fantastic Four or the Avengers dealing with any of this? It's because they've all got their own precincts. They've all got their own kind of scales of crime to fight. So that's why they kind of steer clear of the street crime.
And that's another thing that bugs me is the way they come off. Like, they stay away from that street crime. Like, you see, Superman. He's not. Yeah, sure, his power level is way above it, but like he'll still help with street crime. You know, he's not just limiting himself to certain threats. Same with all the other heroes, really, like Green Lantern. And stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember which series it was, but it was funny. One of the street level hero, I think it was Jessica Jones. I think I dare not say it's the Bendis' Defenders thing, but they have a little go at the Avengers. Like, the Avengers come in and then they say, "Oh no, we'll let you guys handle it." And I think some street level person makes a smarmy remark of, "Oh, this is just, you know, too low for you, is it?" Or so at least kind of that writer at least is aware that the Avengers don't seem to dirty their hands.
Might have been Alias. I'm not sure.
Could have been.
That kind of pops up in Born Again as well.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, you remember that, obviously. We're both huge Daredevil fans.
We are huge,
guys.
Yeah,
the Avengers came in when Nuke started burning down Hell's Kitchen.
Captain America.
Well, that was editorial. Editorial wanted them to put in a crossover with the Avengers, and I think that really hurt the story.
But I guess that, I mean, they must have been obviously been afraid. You know, what like Miller was kind of doing, and let's try and at least try to attract some mainstream, readers.
Like, they were afraid then, but not when, like, he killed Elektra. Had Daredevil holding a gun on the front cover.
Different editor in chief. I don't know.
I'll have to look into that more, actually. So under the subway, Jessica and Pei are still teamed up, and then on the top we have Moon Knight with one of the Wrecking Crew, and then we have Iron Fist and Sparrow leaping over rooftops, which is kind of funny because, like, they're agile, but that's more of, like, Daredevil or Spider-Man's thing.
They're big leaps, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess parkour was taught in Kunlun as well.
And we got Frank in the sewers.
MVP of the issue. So he walks in, he sees all these people wrapped up in fungus. So what does he do? He goes up and he pokes it with his finger. A gloved finger, but still. And then he gets mooked.
Not the brightest when it comes to, non-cartel crime. When anything that's non-human, Frank's just a little bit silly, isn't he?
This was interesting. This was like too stupid for the character mooking. Kind of like the Fantastic Four. Like, I really don't believe that the Punisher would just go up and, like, go, "What the hell?" as if he doesn't know what it is, and then touch it. And
I guess, as you were saying, like, previously in previous episodes, this is all just a bit of a light romp. And I feel Brisson. It's funny though. I'm conflicted because
it's not super light though. You know what I mean? Like, it's not comedy.
No, it is. Well, I mean, it is.
I mean, this part's comical, but
and I've got a bit of a bone to pick with how Moon Knight's portrayed again. But anyway, it's kind of lighter than what I was thinking about being conflicted was that what I really do like about Brisson, and he's done it in Ghost Rider, in Iron Fist, and in Contagion here, is that it shows that he kind of at least researches the material and references, but then he kind of throws characters under the bus like the Punisher and Moon Knight doing stupid, and the Fantastic Four doing stupid things, you know. So, yeah,
we'll have to get to that Moon Knight thing, when we get to it, because I'm not really sure what you're talking about with that.
Okay.
But you would know more than me. But yeah, Frank was interesting. Frank, come in. I
swear to God, I've had it up to here with you quiet types. And he's just like...
Yeah, that's pretty funny, actually. Yeah. So we're at Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's apartment, which is like the meeting place. Majiko saying they're running out of time. And, Frank, Elektra, Luke, Strange, Cloak, Dagger, Reed, Sue, Johnny, the Avengers, all gone, and the Wrecking Crew. Don't forget the Wrecking Crew. So it's like 20 of them down, most of them based in New York. Yes, I'm still annoyed. So they're, and Jessica's like, well, cut rate magicians, and Majiko's like, hey, these cut rate magicians are the only reason everything's not a fungus now, essentially.
Yeah.
So, look, it's just lots of talking. They're just arguing a bit. They're just trying to come up with a plan. And so Senior Majiko says the urchin leaves a trail like dust.
Yeah.
And if you can follow it to the other end, you would find the urchin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm just trying to find that. Oh, yeah. And then we have... shall I jump in here then, Connor? Then we have a bright idea by Moon Knight.
Yeah.
His time in the sun to suggest a plan. And he says, okay, well, since this is made up of a, shall we say, a collective of minds.
Wow.
How about I jump in? And because I've got experience in this, I just need to get on the inside. So let's beat the beast from within, so to speak.
Shadowland.
Yeah, well, yeah. That, and I think this is a slight reference, I'm not sure if Brisson knows it, to the Bemis Moon Knight run. This was covered in 190, I think it was 196, I'm going to say, or 195 of the run, where Moon Knight battles a being called the Collective, and he actually goes inside... similar to this, to negotiate with the various personalities or identities in there. So I guess from that point and that side of things, I can see where Moon Knight's coming from, but there's another part of me just going, this is daft. I mean, just because he's got DID doesn't necessarily mean that, he's
stupid.
Yeah.
Or reckless.
Well, reckless, or he's the go-to guy to actually go on the inside. It just doesn't make sense.
Who would you put on the inside? Yeah, actually, how does that make sense?
How does it make sense?
Is the logic like it absorbs one personality and then the other personalities?
Well, that would be pretty funky. I mean, that was kind of what I was thinking. Like, okay, he's kind of immune to that sense because he's got some personalities. If it absorbs one of him, then he's still alive. Blah blah blah. But I don't know. I'm not. I know that we're dealing with a comic book, but I just can't see the connection here.
I think a better endgame plan would have been nice. Maybe something related to Kunlun. I don't know. Something that would like expand on the backstory of what's happening and why. Like, how did the Hieroglyphi stop it?
Have Iron Fist, Sparrow, and Pei, for instance. Just them. Maybe come up with something. I mean, it's fun. It's good to see Moon Knight coming up with something. It's good. But
you don't like his plan. I
just think he's pigeonholed. It's like he's got multiple personalities. Oh, okay, well, he can fight this thing that has multiple minds. It's like, that's a bit weak. Anyway.
When does the multiple personalities thing even come in his comics anyway? Is that like near the start, or is that ages?
Well, for a long time, and actually it's pointed out here on issue 5, and at the very beginning, like in the late 70s to the 80s, it's obvious that Mensch was still trying to figure out the character. There was an interview with Ralph Macchio, who was the editor at the time for some of the magazines, the Hulk magazine, where Moon Knight
Ralph
featured.
Macchio.
Ralph Macchio. Yeah, not the... I know. And we are on an Iron
Damn
Fist
it.
podcast. I always laugh when I see his name, but no, he's got the exact name as that of the Karate Kid. But anyway, he mentioned it was always intended at the beginning that Moon Knight was kind of like an actor. Like, he didn't have a mental disorder. Like,
Okay.
you know, he actually put on these roles. You know, so he hit the streets as Jake Lockley,
Right.
and he was just acting as it, to you know. And then he'd be Stephen Grant as the well-to-do billionaire, and he would just act the part out, just to serve his purpose. Along the lines, somewhere it started becoming. He started to believe it more, and I'd probably say, I'm just shooting here, but maybe by the early teens of the Moon Knight series in 1980, that was probably where he started. They started mentioning, it was very un-PC back then, started mentioning, you know, Moon Knight, you're a schizo. That's what Marlene would always call him. Like, you know, I don't know who I'm talking to now these days. And he'd start to actually even... away from crime and even life at home, he would start to act out as Jake Lockley or Stephen Grant. And that's when I think it started to kind of morph into, okay, he's got this condition.
Yeah.
But yeah, it never was really meant to be at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm,
A
interesting.
long-winded answer there.
Well, I mean, it's a like complicated. You can't really answer that briefly.
Yeah, true.
So where are we? Tsunya Majiko gets a communication.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he gets his sandbag is ringing, I guess. His magic dust bag. So he pours out this magic dust, and one of the other magicians is like, Tsunya Majiko, the wall's gone. We couldn't hold it any longer.
Mm-hmm.
I am sorry. And it's now or never.
That's it.
And all the magic guys are getting kind of mooked, and now these guys to the rescue. Moon Knight pay the thing, Iron Fist, you know.
So can I just say then, again, so things like the dialogue here, when Moon Knight throws that crescent dart, why don't you try taking on someone your weight? Oh, that's not good. I mean, just that kind of voicing, to me...
It doesn't sound like him?
It's not him at all, nah. He kind of comes off as a bit of a...
A goof?
Yeah, a watered-down Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
But he's not. He's not a Spider-Man, so why write him like one? Yeah, he's absent, yeah. So anyway, that was one of the things I had it against this this take. So anyway, sorry.
No. So the fungus has an army of superheroes. Iron Fist is like, this is bad, real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sparrow may or may not be looking at.
That's right.
Yeah. And we have like a giant sort of spider fungus thing, and it's got all the superheroes, and it has to be concluded.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when I read this, I'm like, man, I hope I was like, how are they going to wrap this up in one issue?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I hope they don't just have the plan work, and that then it's like wrapped up. Like, I really hoped it wasn't that, and I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Spoiler alert, it is that, but
before we wrap up on issue 4 here, Connor, again, we've got to return to the art. So this last page, to me, is meant to be the money shot. It's meant to be the big, you know, the thing you see in comic books, the last page to kind of entice you.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
it's
a real downstep.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to see all these characters with spores around them and stuff, but you wanted to see more with this. It's a bit flat.
It's a real wasted, but like it started off so good. There was so much potential, and then this has kind of just turned into I don't know. Like, it's just ever since issue 2, it's gone downhill. But issue 3 is kind of like a middle issue, so But no, it just kept going downhill.
And then you get the next if you flip over the page, you get what's next on Contagion 5, and you get the cover art by Juan Jose Rip, and you compare that to
what's in the book. It's like a finger painting and real painting.
So
now, I can't wait to get to the cover of the next issue, because that's the best part of the next issue. It's the cover, because it's
no doubt.
I love it. So I'm just waiting for that. Contagion number 5. So, awesome blood red moon. in the background, real apocalyptic sort of thing. The what is that? The big bridge, New York Bridge, whatever you call it.
Brooklyn Bridge, is it maybe?
Brooklyn Bridge, yeah. Everything's covered with like fungus and spores, and then you have the urchin leading the Avengers.
Yeah.
They're all in spores. And like I find some of these designs hilarious.
Yes.
Like I love how Captain America's head is just like a bunch of mushrooms.
Yeah. Well, I find Doctor Strange hilarious because he's got just mushrooms, but he's still got the collar.
Yeah, he's still got the collar and the mushrooms coming up through.
Yeah.
And the Hulk is just like this big green sort of
fungus. It's,
Spider-Man's the only one you can like see a bit of his face.
Yeah, but he's totally gone. So this is a great cover. This one.
Yeah. We have actually a different artist this issue again as well. Adam Gorham.
Yeah, we do.
And the art's not great.
Not great. What do you rate? I think maybe this is slightly better than issue 4 in art. Adam Gorham.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
Yeah.
It's just not as good as like the first 2 issues. But so we go in.
Sorry, but before can I just say, look, a bit of a shining light then to issue 5. Colors. Veronica Gandini. I thought the colors were really nice here in the whole issue.
Much nicer than last issue.
Yeah. A lot more to play with as well. But anyway, so
yeah. No, that's all good. Opening page. Essentially, what was the last page, except this is drawn a bit better. Quite a bit better, honestly. Like the thing looks better and stuff.
Yeah.
We have our heroes with Jessica front and center leading the charge for some reason. Sparrow, like Iron Fist is a leader, right? He leads his own team, like the Immortal Weapons. Sparrow is the leader of an entire mystical city. I guess just as Rebecca said, Jessica Jones kind of does this sometimes, but still, it bugs me a little bit.
Does she have a weird dynamic though with Danny? Like,
I don't really know much about their dynamic, to be honest, because I haven't read that Bendis Defenders run.
Okay.
I read New Avengers with Luke, Jessica, and Danny, but that was really bad, and I don't remember much of it.
Okay. Because I just think that, from what I gathered from the Power Man Iron Fist with David F. Walker, you said the dynamic there, like...
she's really aggressive and he's really passive.
She's aggressive towards him, yeah. So... I don't know whether that plays in her taking the role here, and Danny just happy to let her,
I don't know.
Yeah. The Moon Knight's right next to her. That's good.
So he runs in. Moon Knight, you got a plan, now's the time. And he's like, all right, cover me. And he goes and gets himself infected. Quipping on the way.
Yes, I know. And again, this is not, sure, maybe this is a world-ending event and stuff, but he's typically not a team player. Like, and I know, like, you could say that for a few of these other guys here, but he just seems to be loving the fact that, he's surrounded by these heroes and, cover me, folks, I'm going in. It's like, no, he'd prefer to do everything by himself. So anyway.
So credits are writer Ed Brisson, artist Adam Gorham, colorist Veronica Gandini, letterers VC's Corey Petit, cover artist Juan Jose Rip and Jesus Abertov, variant cover artist Ryan Brown. We cut to Moon Knight going, this is getting all these things in him. So this is this is a really cool page. I like he's kind of in this weird psychedelic inside of this body sort of thing. There's like these spores and stuff, and there's like people lined. It's just very strange, and I like it.
It is good. I like the what do you call them? The word like slorp, like the sounds. As you go in, and the colors are great. It's hard not to compare this, and again, sorry Connor, I'm gonna have to pull on the old High Priest of Khonshu hat here with the Warren Ellis run.
Is it a tall hat?
It's a tall white hat.
Is it like a really tall bishop's hat or something? I need centimeters here.
Well, I was about to say, Jesus, it's a tall white pointy hat, but we can't say that. Anyway.
Well, it's not a hood,
No,
right?
it's not a hood. Yeah, that's
just a hat.
true. Yeah, just a hat. Just a, like a...
Moon Knight smashes the Klan.
Oh, yeah. But what I'm saying, it's hard to not compare this with Ellis's 2014 issue 4 Sleep run, where Moon Knight goes into the dream world. Very psychedelic, very similar to this.
Okay.
And similar to what I mentioned before, 195, 196, where Moon Knight battles a collective. So he's done this at least twice before.
Right.
So this is great to see. And some of the stuff is really funky, but I just couldn't help but think of the other times as well. So I think that took the gloss off it, unfortunately for me. Yeah.
And so Moon Knight's kind of monologuing.
Yep.
Now, you talk about remember Brisson in the Iron Fist and Shang-Chi issues in Brisson's run. Iron Fist is quite quippy there as well. Mm-hmm. So I guess Brisson's kind of done this before. He's made a character a bit more quippy than they usually are.
Yeah. Did you not like that? Because Iron Fist, Danny Rand has a few quips here and there, doesn't he?
He does, but he came off as Spider-Man in that Shang-Chi team up that Brisson was doing. He was way too quippy in that.
Okay, yep.
And Shang-Chi's or the zombie leader is don't you ever shut up? And Danny just keeps talking. I'm this is a Spider-Man thing.
I know, yeah. It's annoying when they do that.
It's not Kung Fu Spider-Man, okay?
Yeah. Just leave it to Spider-Man, or Deadpool. Just other characters don't have to do it. It's anyway.
I liked when all of Danny's dialogue was in a monologuing about Kung Fu and Kunlun. Those are the days. Then he hits his head and remembers his childhood, etc. So he sees Elektra sort of wrapped in the hive thing or whatever, and she's like, "Follow me," and he hold on.
Yeah. Follow her trail. Be careful.
Okay, and he's going to try not to die.
Mm-hmm. More crescent darts ensue.
Yeah. And then we cut back to the physical world, or the non-fungus. Well, actually, there's a lot of fungus everywhere. Yeah, so Pei and Danny making a brief appearance in this issue. So Pei gets mooked. They pull her mask off and put all the...
Did you like Pei? I like Pei, and this is pretty cool.
I like Pei in general. I didn't like how she was done in the Immortal Weapons series.
Right.
I wasn't a fan of that. I think she had some good moments in that, but that series was also just really disappointing in general. But I think she's okay.
Was that the digital one? Was that Iron Fists? No.
Yeah, Immortal Iron Fists.
Oh, Iron Fists.
Sorry.
Yeah. I can see what you mean about that series. Yeah.
She kind of annoyed me in that, and generally I would like to see her interact with Danny, but maybe we'll get that in the future. I don't know, because they haven't really interacted with each other much at all in this.
Yeah.
She gets mooked.
Sorry, can I ask, is mooked the same as jobbed?
I'm not sure if mooked's just something I've come up with, but it's not quite jobbing.
Okay.
So jobbing is worse. She doesn't job here because she's 10 years old getting swarmed by fungus zombies. Yeah. But mooked is just
she gets done.
Getting creamed, getting cheesed, getting wrecked. I'm using mooked because they're all zombies and stuff. And it's the week of mooking because I read Deceased as well, and Marvel Zombies Resurrection, where there was zombie mooking abound. So, and everyone's angry that she gets mooked. It's she's just a kid, you bastards, Pei. And it's well, if you're that concerned, why did you bring her?
And she's just a kid. She's more than capable, seriously.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, the way they're saying, she's just a kid, it's well, then don't bring her. But, she is an Iron Fist. She should be more than capable. I sort of like how she got the Iron Fist. I remember it being quite silly. Considering she's 10 years old, and I think she defeated, the first Xiao Lao or something, somehow, which didn't make any sense to me, but whatever. Yeah. Probably won't revisit that run anytime soon. Let's see. Yeah, so is the plan working? Moon Knight's in the fetal position.
Yeah. Now, this is interesting here because it's left tantalizingly unexplained. But his connection, Senor Magico says, his connection to the urchin it's different from the others. And someone says, what does that even mean? Different how? Just different. I don't know what it means. Is this because he's got multiple identities?
I would say it would be that.
It would be, yeah, but then if we look at what he does, what anyone else could have done what he's done. It will go through the whole thing. He traverses through that loopy psychedelic place. He doesn't do anything that different to what.
Yeah,
You'd throw the thing in there, and he'd be floating around, and he'd be finding Pei, and he'd be severing her ties. He'd be running into Electra. He'd be trying to free her. There's nothing here that he does that is any different from what anyone else would do.
And I guess the thing is he kind of knows what to do, but that begs the question: why didn't anyone else do this?
Yeah.
Before, I mean, obviously, but maybe they broke free, but they didn't know where they were going or anything, so they got absorbed.
I doubt Moon Knight knows what he's doing.
Well, they know he has to, like, Elektra told him to follow the trail, but you're right, when you look at this, it kind of falls apart a bit.
Yeah.
Because, like, he kind of snaps Pei out of it.
Yes.
Oh, and this is Carl's favorite sequence in the book.
Okay.
You damn monster, Pei is a treasure, you can't have her. That's Carl's favorite line in the book.
I found that a bit odd.
It's just a bit strange. Is it out of character for Moon Knight again to say Pei is a treasure? Maybe it's the author saying that.
A little inside joke somewhere, but yeah. I don't know. And so he frees Pei, and then so she helps him. So again, like, would any other hero have done anything different to Moon Knight? No. They would have tried to save someone, and then the same result would have happened, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, am I? Yeah. Maybe
well, he's going to the center now.
Yeah.
Because Pei's holding them off. So.
Yeah.
And then we come back to the real world. They're just things fighting all the zombies, sparrows. Mm-hmm. Oh, including. Pei.
So Pei stops.
Yeah, it's been interrupted.
Yeah.
The trail from her to the urchin.
So you're assuming that. So she's fighting Sparrow, but she stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Moon Knight's interrupted the flow for everyone.
Yeah, well, he severed the tie to Pei, at least.
Yeah.
She's no longer connected with those tendrils, so...
I do think this is a pretty cool shot.
Which one?
When he's in the middle, like with the big brain head thing.
Yeah, I think that's far better than issue 4. Yeah. No, really good. Yeah, I enjoyed this. Anything with the brains and... it's always a bit weird.
Yeah.
And more quips ensue from Moon Knight.
Yeah. So it's like, you can't be here. So, like, did Moon Knight just sever the connection with everyone just by being in the middle? I guess.
He severed the connection to Pei, right? That's all so far.
But he, like, just grabbed her.
Yeah. He cut
the things.
Cut her free of her bondage. So he's not in the nerve center now. But this is the thing. I guess I really should have planned this far better. I mean, no. Moon Knight, he's not a master strategist, but he does strategize. He's very well organized.
I'm looking back. So he wakes up after he gets taken in the brain and then breaks out. So maybe it is the multiple personality things. Maybe if he just had one personality, he wouldn't have been able to wake up while he was... Because he's got all the tentacles in him, right? I'm looking back. When he gets absorbed, he's like in the hive wall or whatever, but then he wakes up. So maybe one of his personalities was able to take over after he was captured, which is why he's the only one who can do it. Because Pei didn't step out of it until he broke her out with his moonarangs or whatever.
I mean, that's cool, but you really have to think about it in order to make sense of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of just assumed this while I was reading it the first time, though, as well. Like, I wasn't really thinking about it that hard, and I just assumed.
Okay, I just thought he was just traveling through.
No, I think, yeah.
Well, it would have been good then to actually see, because Moon Knight is one personality. It would have been good then to see Jake Lockley or Stephen Grant or Mark
Oh,
Spector.
like to see an actual different personality emerge.
Yeah, because Moon Knight apparently it is its own identity in the whole canon of Mark Spector's head. So you'd want to see a different visual of each of these identities. Yeah.
So, yeah, the Thing's trying to stop Moon Knight, and then the host of the Urchin's breaking out, and they're like, "Stop it! Please stop it! It's killing me!" And basically, it doesn't know different. It's essentially just a force of hunger. It just consumes.
Yep.
So essentially, it's a biological weapon. The hieroglyphy came up when the Kunlun people just decided to chop a bit of their forest down and make a weird city. Which sounds like an interesting story that I want to see.
I'd love to see more of it, actually. I'd love to see an origin or, a retrospective story of, a couple of hundred years back or something or whatever.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been contained for that long. Maybe just before it got contained. That would have been good.
Plant people are awesome. So, but, Luke Cage, Doctor Strange, Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
They're all calling out.
They all come out.
And basically he's just, they're saying, sever the tethers.
Mm-hmm. And actually, what else did they say? Because
let's have a look. Yeah, sever the tethers will take away its strength, set them free.
Mm-hmm.
It's drawing from those it consumes. So if you sever the tethers, it'll become less powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like yeah.
And then he kind of slashes. I do like the visuals of that. The girl.
The visuals are good. Yeah,
because with her bloodshot eyes and her goggly eyes and the brain coming out of her head.
Yeah.
So when he does throw the dart and just slices that brain, she kind of pops out, which is pretty cool.
And I like. Yeah, I like a lot of the imagery here is good as he's getting all the stuff going into his head.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then there's so how does he free them? How does he sever them? He just looks like he gets grabbed and absorbed.
And
then
I thought this was what you were referring to as his other identity overtakes.
No, I was talking about it earlier.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know because it looks like he gets defeated, and then there's a hand that reaches out, which is Pai's.
Yeah, and he gets pulled out, and it turns out everyone's free.
Yeah, when you were talking, we could hear. That's the beauty of a shared consciousness. So Pai freed them all. So she must have gone around and severed all the tethers.
Right.
To them.
Probably should have reread this before we were covering it.
Which is funny because it's explained by Doctor Strange to Moon Knight as to what to do, but Pai's kind of done it off panel. And she's done it already.
Yeah.
She literally says, I figured I'd just free the others. So she does. She's the one that frees them all.
Okay.
And she frees Moon Knight as well, because he gets sucked in. So she does actually...
Yeah.
And then Moon Knight does the killing blow, which, sorry, I jumped ahead, and he frees the girl.
Yeah.
In the nerve, the big brain, and he cuts her free. So Pai does have a big role here as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh, hang on. Then we get the Fantastic Four finally doing something.
Yeah, the Invisible Woman puts a bubble around the plant thing.
Yep.
Because it's not it doesn't have a host anymore, but it's still kind of like a plant thing with a face. And so he puts a bubble around it. And, they're all happy. It's a happy reunion between the Thing and the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And, we have another cameo appearance from Danny and Sparrow in the next panel. Danny's knocking on the Thing. Blah, 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 explanation.
Well, actually, the two things here in this page, so the two, I think, the most interesting things for me in this whole issue, and that was the explanation from Reed Richards. One about, how the fungus is similar to this Ophiocordyceps unilaterus, the zombie ant fungus. So I'm assuming that's a real thing, but how basically its designed by nature is to just basically spread and destroy, which is what this has been likened to, these spores, which is really good.
Yeah.
The second one was, I love this idea about the goldfish. He says it's like the goldfish, it will only grow to the size that its environment is in, so keep him in that bubble or the containment cell and it will just be that little, that kind of thing. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. That was pretty smart.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we after that we go back to, this is like the bookends. So Ben Grimm's patting a cat and he's hanging out with the kids that were infected at the start of it, and he's like, you know, a way of repaying me, can you Yancy street kids stop giving me a hassle? And then she pecks him on the brow, and they go, not a chance, and he's like, classic Yancy. The end. Which is a nice little ending with the Thing.
Yeah. Began and ended with the Thing.
But this is like all over the place. So
yeah.
Because the Thing wasn't even that relevant in this issue.
No.
You know, and what bugs me obviously is Sparrow and Iron Fist are barely in this issue.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Barely. I don't.
You get pay though. You get pay, but yeah.
Yeah, but they're the experts. Like, you know, they're like, at the end of the first issue, they were caught in because they're the experts, and this is Sparrow's thing, and Iron Fist is champion at Kunlun. Getting rid of this is kind of his job, and then they're just not in this, and it was kind of set up like they were going to be important parts to defeating it, and I guess they were, just not in this issue. And also, like, the only thing Iron Fist said in this issue, I think, was pay. Like, he just went, hey, when she got absorbed, and that was it.
Yeah. This is a problem, I think, with a 5-parter, and you've got a cast of thousands as well. It's hard to, like, seriously, either you or I were going to be massively disappointed with either Moon Knight or Iron Fist not featuring much, because you can't service them all in this short period of time.
Yeah,
it just so happens that we're both disappointed.
And so, like, Moon Knight kind of comes in the 4th issue.
Yeah,
he does a little bit in the 4th issue, and then he's like front and center in the 5th issue.
Yeah, it's weird.
Seems quite abrupt.
It is very abrupt. Very abrupt. It kind of throws away everything,
which I don't really mind. I can kind of see that, but maybe if, like, the characters who had been important before, like the Thing, Iron Fist, and Sparrow, were still, you know, like, why did maybe if Jessica Jones got less dialogue and they got more dialogue, and they were kind of talking with Moon Knight as he went in, maybe it would have made a bit more sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it would have felt a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, is it Jessica Jones? It's because Luke is contaminated, right? That she's so passionate and leading the charge. But it makes total more sense, as you say, if Sparrow and Iron Fist kind of continued what they were doing, and the Thing as well. I mean, geez.
Yeah, because they were the characters from the start.
Exactly.
Like, first issue. And this is like their ballpark. And the Thing was like, yeah, he was like the guy in the first issue. So, you know, it was a bit weird.
Yeah. I mean, similar to what you're saying, but on my side with Moon Knight, it's the same thing as well. Like, he wasn't featured at all at the beginning. And then to me, it seems like he's being used here just in the final issues because of his gimmick, which is the multiple personalities.
Yeah.
And just there's something very non-satisfying about that. Even though your character, one of your favorite characters, is front and center, it's just like he appeared out of nowhere. He's got no grounding.
Well, you still want it to be good, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I think what bugs me the most about this whole series is how much potential it had that just got wasted. It didn't go anywhere. I was expecting, you know, as I said, I would have liked maybe something goes wrong with Moon Knight's plan and they have to do something else. And then as they do something else, maybe it weakens a bit and Moon Knight gets free and is able to finish the plan because of another plan they're doing on the outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in this, like, his plan just works. I mean, yeah, he gets sort of done at the end and then Pei frees everyone, but that's like off panel.
It's all done it's all done very quickly, though. I reckon another issue, like a nice 6-parter, would have been pretty good.
5 issues is weird. Maybe they wanted it to finish before Halloween.
Yeah.
And maybe this is like an idea they kind of came up with quickly. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was mentioned. I remember you mentioning that before in the previous episodes. It's to me, it's so detrimental to the story where you fashion everything just to meet a particular particular deadline for Halloween. It just ends up being a rush job.
Yeah. It started off so good, and the
inconsistent
pacing
art,
started off well as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, it was so exciting, the first 2 issues. Like, getting really into it. Even
like,
issue 3, I was kind of happy.
This was going to be a trade buy for me.
Yeah.
But now, man, I would be buying it as a trade for those first 2 issues. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah. So would you buy it? No.
Man, like, I would buy it just because Iron Fist has like a good speaking role on the first 2 issues. But
you've got the singles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's enough for me. Like, as well,
yeah.
I was thinking this was going to be a trade as well, but I'm thinking, look, I've got the singles. Happy with that. I can always revisit it if I want to. Yeah. I don't need to fork out another $30 for this. So
yeah, and it's just, as I said before, I know it's annoying Rebecca. I apologize, but it does annoy me how Jessica Jones kind of takes charge in this when there's like so many other people around. Like, I get it. Jessica Jones is like a tough aggro person.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know people with this kind of personality in real life, and they drive me crazy. And they're also not nice people either.
Yeah.
So as a result, and I know, I'm sorry this is heresy, I don't actually really like her that much.
Fair enough.
I enjoyed Alias,
and
I thought she was good in that. But generally, outside of that, I found her pretty like grating.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a Kunlun centric story. It should be, and you've got 3. You've got Sparrow, Iron Fist, and Pei. They should be the ones, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and, Thing as well. And, like, I'd have no problem with Moon Knight having a crucial role if the others, like, still had a role.
Yeah.
You know? Like, cause...
Well, if any, I would have loved to have seen Moon Knight introduced earlier then. Like, it just seems, for him to come in at the end of 4 and then 5 and then be the savior, it doesn't sit well.
We came in 3, but that was like at the end.
Oh, sorry. 3 he was at the end. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I think it's another thing where it's like, if it had another issue, it could have. But And
I like your angle. Just make this one fail and come. You got to keep the reader guessing when everything's just so predictable.
Yeah, it just worked. Like, Moon Knight goes in, everything's going, oh no, something goes wrong, he can't get through. He starts to get Thing, and then they're like, oh, the plan didn't work.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And then as they're doing that, all of a sudden, it weakens. Moon Knight can get through, and through a combination of these efforts, they manage to take it down. Kind of like how, Elektra was inside Matt, and then Iron Fist did like the exorcism punch on Matt, and there was like a combination of things working together to sort of.
That would be fun.
It wasn't so predictable.
That'd be a cool team thing.
Yeah, but it was just it feels so weird. Like, okay, Iron Fist kind of being on the sidelines, whatever, sometimes happens, but like Sparrow, this is her kind of gig.
Yeah.
Like,
if anyone is capable or everyone should lean towards, it would be Sparrow, right? Because
I mean, she leads the city. She's Iron Fist boss. But like, it started off well. There was some sloppy parts when it started, like the Fantastic Four not wearing hazmat suits.
Yeah.
But I felt like it just got sloppier as it went. And
I would have loved to see the heroes infected in more trickier, more clever ways, creative ways, rather than just like Frank poking a bit of spore and getting,
Yeah, I think they tried to be creative a couple of times, like with Iron Man and Cloak. I mean, it's debatable whether like you think it was creative, but I think they tried to do something a bit different with those guys. And and actually, I will say I'm amazed Iron Fist never got infected.
Yeah.
He's been fighting in the thick of it from issue 1. Well, 2, really.
Sparrow, right, as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, but I'm surprised they didn't absorb Danny so they could give the fungus the Iron Fist. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But no. So disappointing. That's my thoughts, really.
Yeah. Absolutely. Totally agree. First couple of issues were the strongest.
And not just disappointing on the Iron Fist side. Disappointing because it's just not consistent.
It doesn't stick the landing. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It gives you big expectations because they're big ideas, but
and it starts off so well.
Yeah, exactly. But the length of this series and I guess how they wrap things up, the pacing towards the end, just a little. I don't want to say rushed, but it just seemed there could have been more thought put into it.
And they say like, this is like a biological weapon by the Hierarchy in issue 2, and that's all we find out.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we find out it just consumes everything. It's like, well, we already knew that. We already knew it was based on hunger.
Yeah.
But hey, better than deceased. But
well, I'm just hoping another writer will pick this up, down the track somewhere. And
maybe Brisson could pick it up and just get more time.
Yeah.
I mean, because that being said, I do tote Brisson's bag a lot. Like I do tote him as great, but
I love Brisson's stuff, like most of his stuff. Seriously.
His Iron Fist run did have problems.
Did it? Okay. Well,
there was a couple of issues I did not like in the Iron Fist run, but overall it was quite strong. It's just the middle of it.
Okay.
Like first and third act, great. Middle act,
okay, right. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Mike Perkins on art was great. I thought.
The artwork.
Art was brilliant. Man. Yeah. But yeah, not being a not uber fan like yourself with Iron Fist. Yeah, I guess those hiccups. Kind of I looked past.
Yeah.
I just generally thought it was a solid issue. His Ghost Rider one issue in is pretty cool as well. I read a bit of his X-Force. That was good. That had really bad art as well, but the story was pretty good. So he can write the guy, but it's just this is the first kind of, I don't want to say dud, but first slightly bland. Overall story that he's done, I'm saying.
Yeah, just very, very disappointed.
Having said that, you should get him on the show.
I've tried. I tried to reach out to him. I didn't get a response. So, but I would be very interested in talking to him. That's for sure. Because I did love his run. So
and he's a big horror fan as well. So
man, I'd love to get him on the show. But it's hard to get people on the show, but
you never know.
Let's see. Yeah, well, that about wraps us up, I think. Unless you had any other final thoughts on Contagion.
No. Pretty happy that. Other than I just hope it pops up again somewhere and we get to hear more about it.
Yeah, or just the Hierarchy in general.
Yeah. 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 I mean, the urchin or whatever as well. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Carl sent a bit of feedback. He was half asleep when he sent it. I don't think it has anything to do with this issue, but this is just something I wanted to say. Yeah. So, will the demon be reborn just the dragon and try to kill Pei when she's 33? I'm assuming he's talking about like the demon monster in Immortal Iron Fist that went around killing Iron Fists. I'm pretty sure Danny killed that.
Yeah.
I haven't read Immortal Iron Fist in years.
Yeah.
Like, God, it'd be like 8 years now. But I'm pretty sure Danny killed that and it won't come back.
Right. Yes. Yeah, that's right. It's coming back to me now. Yeah, so by 33, they all die, right? Because this
thing was hunting. There was one guy who lived because he became a scholar and Orson got addicted to opiates to dull his chi.
That's right.
Which I preferred the version where he got addicted to opiates because the war was horrible, as opposed to getting addicted to opiates to mask his chi to hide from the demon. Like, I thought that was a bit of a shitty retcon, but
right.
There you go. So, thanks very much for joining me, Ray.
No worries. It's been fun.
Yeah. Have to have you on again. There's just there's a real lack of Iron Fist and Moon Knight content.
I know. Would love to. I'd love to pop on. Iron Fist is such an interesting character. Yeah, I mean,
if you ever want to pop on, feel free. Just to if we're an issue we're covering or something, and you want to pop on for it, feel free.
Maybe if Senor Magico pops up again,
yes,
maybe I can.
Signor Magico, who also kind of stopped talking in issue 5 as well.
Yeah, kind of had enough of that, didn't he?
Yeah, man, issue 5. Wow. But
Yeah.
so Ray, where can everyone find you? Plug all your stuff.
Oh yeah, so if you enjoyed or want to learn more about Moon Knight, if issue 5 has enticed you, then you can catch a podcast I do called Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast, on Twitter at ITK Moon Knight. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/ITK Moon Knight. We also have a group, just search for Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. We're a weekly show thereabouts. And also, as mentioned, I also co-host with Connor as well on the Last Sons of Krypton, a Superman podcast. So you can email us there on lskpodcast@gmail.com, as well as check out all the episodes on lskpodcast.libsyn.com. That's our podcast page. And we're on Facebook and Twitter as well. Just LSK Podcast, I believe, is the magical handle.
Yeah. If you like the two of us together, definitely listen to LSK. LSK is pretty funny sometimes because Ray comes out with these opinions that just make like no sense to me and that I would never even consider. So I'm thrown at least once every couple episodes by one of his opinions. Like my favorite one is still I don't like Superman rescuing people from burning buildings. That's still my favorite one.
Oh, come on. Yes, speeding trains, burning buildings. Yeah. They are the great nemesis of Superman.
Yes, indeed. Look, man, trains go off the rails sometimes, okay? Someone's got to stop them.
Actually, having said that, just incidentally, I was surprised the last few weeks. I don't know if you've been watching, I watch the morning news. There have been a lot of fires in Australia. And this is not even bushfire season. Like, I'm talking about house fires, people leaving heaters on and smoking in bed. So we do need a little bit of we do need Superman here. Help, because I didn't realize how many fires there are, like, constantly. in
fires are bad.
I know,
okay? Like, one day,
proven wrong.
Your house is going to burn down. You're going to lose all your stuff, and then you read about Superman saving someone from a fire, and you'll be like, "Man, I was wrong." I like when Superman rescues people from fires.
Yeah. I'll make a mistake because I'll be calling for Batman. And they'll be
wow. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Or the Avengers, but they don't touch that sort of stuff, so...
No, they'll just avenge you.
That's it, yeah, they'll wait till I'm gone.
Yeah, they did a really good job with Thanos. They didn't lose half the population of the universe in the process.
Exactly. So, no, but big thank you for having me on. It's been always
worries.
Fun.
It was a pleasure to have you on this particular podcast. Yeah, feel free to come on whenever. And I'll put everything in the show notes, Into the Night. Check out Into the Night, obviously, as well. It's a great podcast for Moon Knight fans. His co-host on there is also called Connor, but it's not me. So both of Ray's podcasts, he has a co-host called Connor, but they're different people. And now this is weird.
It's bizarre.
We're in the fifth dimension.
I know.
We've entered the fifth dimension. Now we've got to find Grant Morrison. But okay. So next time, the next thing on our list is the Lethal Protectors tie-in for Absolute Carnage.
Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, so obviously that's going to be a bit past the curve because it'll have been finished by the time we start covering it. But, Rebecca said he's in it quite a lot and it's worth covering. So we'll do that either next week or the week after. We're currently weekly for Contagion, but we might go between weekly and fortnightly because now I'm doing 3 podcasts.
Yeah, so, keeping him off the streets.
Yeah, but after Lethal Protectors, we will be covering the Arc and Ultimate Spider-Man, where the Marvel Knights, the Ultimate versions, go up against Kingpin, which features Iron Fist in it as well.
How is he different in that one?
He's very different.
Okay.
I think it implies he just got his powers from I don't think he even explains his backstory that much. Okay. Like he read a scroll or something maybe, and he has mystic powers, and he's with Colleen. But that was a request by I believe it was, just let me look so I get his name right.
Danny Rand?
No. I would like Danny Rand to come on the show, though. That would be great. Sorry, I just got to find my page here. There we go. Iron Fist Podcast, because he sent me a few messages. Let's have a look. Sorry, I should have got this up. I'm pretty sure... Where is he?
Finn Jones.
Okay, so he's no longer Dom Part 2. He's Dom Villator the Third.
Oh.
He has sent a request to this, and we also have a request from Phil Perich to do the 90s Heroes for Hire run.
Yeah, fill me in, Phil.
Yes, who I had on Last Sons of Krypton a couple of weeks ago, actually. Talk about one of his favorite stories.
Yeah. Great podcaster.
Yeah, he's really good. So we still don't know how we're going to fit that in. We're thinking we will just be doing the important Iron Fist stories from Power Man and Iron Fist, and then move on to that Heroes for Hire run.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how we go. Don't worry, it doesn't mean we won't be covering, like, we will be skipping Power Man and Iron Fist issues, but we will still go back to them, to cover them and stuff, like as good standalone issues. But that's the roadmap for now.
That's a full-on schedule there, Connor.
Yeah, but at least it's not the next 75 episodes are going to be about Power Man and Iron Fist. So, yeah.
Who voted for that? Seriously.
I put up a poll.
Yeah,
and
I did. Yeah, I did.
Oh, you voted?
I did.
Yeah, all these people voted for it.
Yeah.
It won by at least 25 votes, the full Power Man and Iron Fist run.
Seminal run. It's great.
But this is no longer a democracy. So I'm so surprised Immortal Iron Fist didn't win, but people love the old school stuff, which is good because old school stuff is great. So, but thanks again for coming, Ray.
No worries.
Hope to see you on again soon.
Sure.
And you can catch two of us crazy kids on LSK next week.
Yes.
But until next time, don't, if you see fungus growing on a wall in a sewer, don't just walk up and touch it.
And go, ooh.
Yeah, ooh, ah. All right, see yous.
Gotcha.
Iron Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney. Any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders. We do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, anything you want really. Doesn't even have to be related to Iron Fist. If you don't want it read on the air though, make sure you mention that. You can also find us on Facebook, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon, our Twitter, at Iron Fist Podcast, our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon, hyphens where the spaces are, our YouTube, Connor Carl, just search Iron Fist Podcast and you'll find us real quick. We are also on iTunes. If you find us there, give us a review and rate us. If it's less than 5 stars, please say why so we can improve the show. And we're on Podcast Garden in the literature section, and last but not least, head over to our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. That's where I put all the show notes. I'd like to thank Thomas Tissot for composing the Iron Fist theme song we use at the start of our Iron Fist episodes on the podcast. I'd also like to thank Peter John Sikorsky for composing the Power Man and Iron Fist theme we use at the start of our Power Man and Iron Fist episodes. And finally, thanks to you guys for listening.